We have studied about the stomach and duodenum. Today we'll study one more abdominal organ, that is pancreas. The pancreas, it is structurally is an elongated compound racemose gland which resembles the salivary gland in structure and is of grayish pink in color. Functionally, it is a mixed type of gland containing both the exocrine and endocrine components. As I have said, it is both exocrine and endocrine. Its exocrine part secretes the digestive pancreatic juices for the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fats, and its endocrine part secretes the hormone like insulin and glucagon for the metabolism of glucose. This metabolism will be taught in physiology. We'll study now about the anatomy of pancreas. In the anatomy, we'll study its situation, that is location anatomically where it is present, its measurement, weight, parts for examination, then about its arterial supply, lymphatic drainage, its development, that is embryology, histology and applied anatomy. Okay, now we'll see its situation, location or anatomically where it is present in the abdomen. It lies in the posterior abdominal wall behind the peritoneum. That means it is a retroperitoneal organ. Retro means behind or previous. So behind to the peritoneum. So it is retroperitoneal organ. It extends obliquely upwards and to the left from the hollow of the duodenum to the spleen, lying under cover of the stomach. So it is one of the organ which forms the bed of the stomach, from which it is separated by the lesser sac. As I have said, it is obliquely present from the duodenum, its C-shaped hollow of duodenum, till the hilum of spleen. So at the duodenum, it is present at the level of L2 vertebra, lumbar second vertebra, and its tail, which goes towards the left and bit above, that is in the hilum of the spleen, its tail will be present at the L1 vertebra, lumbar first vertebra. Okay. Then its shape and size. It is retort shaped or else inverted J-shaped organ. The retort shape, where we have seen it in the chemistry, where one sided bowl will be there and another side small nostril will be there for the retort. For this pancreas, the bowl of the retort represents its head and the stem of retort or nostril of retort will be its neck, body and tail. Then measurement and weight. The pancreas varies in length from 12 to 15 centimeters or else 5 to 6 inches, and it is about 1.5 centimeter in thickness. Its average weight will be about 85 grams. Parts for examination or for simple understanding of pancreas, it is divided into 4 parts. Those are head of the pancreas. Left to the head there will be neck of the pancreas. Proceeding to left again, it is body of pancreas. Then at the end, which resides at the hilum of spleen, there will be tail of the pancreas. Now we'll study each of this part separately, their borders, surfaces and their relations. Okay, first we'll see about the head of the pancreas. First, the pancreas, it is retort shaped and the bowl of the retort constitutes the head of the pancreas. The head is flattened from before backwards. That means it is flattened from antero-posteriorly and its vertical diameter is larger than its transverse diameter. It is situated on the posterior abdominal wall opposite the level of second lumbar vertebra and is situated into the hollow of C-shaped duodenum. It is placed at a lower level than its tail, which resides opposite the level of first lumbar vertebra. The head at its inferior aspect sends out a process that is called as uncinate process. Examination of the head, or for the better understanding of the head, it is divided into one process, that is uncinate process. It has two surfaces, those are anterior and posterior surface, and four borders, which are superior border, inferior border, right border and left border. In this, left border is very much short and it is merged with the neck of the pancreas. So sometimes it is not been considered. So pancreas, we can see in that form that pancreas have three borders. Those are superior border, inferior border and right border. Now we'll see the relation of the head of the pancreas. First, we'll understand its peritoneal relation. The anterior surface of the head of the pancreas is covered by the peritoneum below the area crossed by the transverse colon, and the peritoneum is derived from the greater sac. As we all know that pancreas is a retroperitoneal organ. Retro means behind the peritoneum. So when it is behind the peritoneum, that time its anterior surface will come in contact with the peritoneum, which is in front of it. Yes, so its anterior surface above the impression of transverse colon, it is in relation with peritoneum, and the posterior surface and the uncinate process both are uncovered by the peritoneum. So as it is behind to the peritoneum, its posterior surface of head of pancreas is devoid or uncovered by the peritoneum, and the uncinate process, which is below to the impression of transverse colon, so it is also devoid of peritoneum. Now we'll see the general relations. In that, the anterior surface of the head is crossed by the transverse colon, with which it is attached by some loose areolar tissue, that is mesentery of that transverse colon. Above the transverse colon, the anterior surface is overlapped by the first portion of the duodenum, and below to that impression of transverse colon, it is in relation with some coils of small intestine. Those are ileum and jejunum. Relation with the inferior vena cava, right crus of diaphragm, the terminal portion of renal veins, and the common bile duct which may be embedded into the pancreatic substance. Close to its duodenal margin, the common bile duct is crossed by the branches of superior pancreatico-duodenal vessels, and inferiorly it is related to the right testicular in males, and in females right ovarian vessels. The superior border of the head of the pancreas is overlapped by the first portion of the duodenum and is related to the hepatic branch of colic artery. The lower border from its left end gives rise to the uncinate process and is in relation with the third part of duodenum. The left border of head of pancreas is very much short and is merged with the neck of pancreas and is in relation to the superior mesenteric vein. Fits into the concavity formed by the second portion of duodenum and in the groove between the two, that is in between the right border of the head of the pancreas and the second part of the duodenum, there is a groove. In that groove, the superior and inferior pancreatico-duodenal arteries anastomose with each other and forms two arches. One arch being placed anteriorly and the another arch placed posteriorly. Next, the uncinate process. It is crossed in front by the superior mesenteric artery and intervenes between it and the abdominal aorta. The left renal vein is in close relation to its upper border. Now we'll see about the neck of the pancreas. The neck of the pancreas measures about 2 cm both in width as well as in length, and it is flattened from before backwards, same as that of the head of the pancreas. It presents an anterior and a posterior surface and an upper and lower border or superior and inferior border. Between the head and neck on the anterior surface there lies a faint groove which lodges the gastroduodenal artery and marks the line of demarcation between the head and neck. So it suggests that in between the head and neck we have gastroduodenal artery. Right to the gastroduodenal artery we have head of the pancreas, and left to the gastroduodenal artery we have neck of the pancreas. Peritoneal relation of the neck of the pancreas is same as that of head of pancreas, where the anterior surface of the neck is covered by the peritoneum and the posterior surface it is uncovered by the peritoneum. In the general relation, the anterior surface, where at the left border of the head of the pancreas and the neck in between we have gastroduodenal artery, which is the anterior relation of neck of pancreas, as well as we know that anterior surface of pancreas forms the bed of the stomach. So this surface also comes in contact with the pyloric portion of the stomach. The posterior surface comes into relation with the combination of portal vein, which is formed in this situation by the union of the superior mesenteric vein and the splenic vein. The superior border is continuous with the superior border of the body and is related to the celiac plexus. The inferior border is continuous with the anterior border of the body. Now in next class we'll see about the further parts of the pancreas.